The window of time between the date your charter school's charter application is approved by the state authorizer and the date your school formally opens to students is generally called the Ready to Open period, or RTO. The rules for RTO vary from state to state, but cover the basic same substance. During RTO, your board and school leaders will be required to establish the infrastructure of a fully operational charter school, including facilities, policies and procedures, staffing, and student enrollment. Your state will have a rubric of items your board will have to complete and show documents and artifacts for prior to the school being eligible to receive its initial funding. Most states will require that your board show an approved educational certificate of occupancy for your school facilities that was approved by local authorities prior to the release of public school funds. Your board should understand the window to opening and exercise due diligence to complete all tasks required to open the charter school on time. There are many charter schools that get approved for opening by the charter school authorizer, but never open because they failed to complete all requirements during the RTO period. Once your charter is approved, time is of the essence. Some states will allow you to request to amend your charter to allow you to open the following year. If your charter was approved for your charter school to open in a given year and your school fails to open, it may be a fatal violation of the charter and result in the charter's termination. You must gain an understanding of the time window in your state and plan accordingly. To complete all the required tasks on time, you may have to start before you have obtained final approval of the charter. This is the most likely scenario. Most charter schools that open do not wait for final approval. They move forward relying on their understanding that the charter is required to be approved if the board meets all the objective standards set by state law. Professional charter school leaders work diligently to understand and meet the objective standards. There may be 30 policies and procedures that your board must review and approve in less than 10 board meetings. So you will need to schedule these policies for review and approval. You should prepare draft meeting agendas for the next 12 months in advance. Your board meeting minutes must be done correctly. There is a link to another video about board meeting minutes in the description below. The authorizer will likely review all your board meeting minutes during the RTO period to ensure you are complying with open meetings laws and properly documenting your board meetings. Your board will be required to follow an RTO rubric and submit documents on scheduled dates. You will need to apply for the National School Lunch Program or establish an acceptable alternative. You will need to engage in student recruitment, conduct open enrollment, and conduct a school lottery. You will be required to show documentation of adequate student enrollment. You will need to timely hire the school administrator and contract teachers and instructional staff. Your board will have to adopt an official school calendar and obtain required liability insurances. You will need to complete federal program applications either during RTO or shortly thereafter. You will need to establish how you will handle school accounting and finance issues either in-house or through a financial services vendor. Your state may have training requirements for financial officers. You need to investigate that. You need policies for your student with disabilities program and have licensed staff and establish contracts for related service providers. This is just an introductory discussion.